Hi, I'm Mike Norman. Welcome to Mike Norman Economics. The other day I was reading an article on Bloomberg.com written by some lady by the name of Carolyn Baum. She's a columnist over there who opines on economic matters. That's great, but you might be wondering what her credentials are. Well, don't worry. She has a degree in cinema. That's right. Bloomberg always hires the best, most qualified people. Okay. Well, anyway, it seems like Ms. Baum was really fired up in her article where she was warning of a disaster that's coming our way in 2017. You see, in 2017, the U.S. government is going to have to roll over something like $6 trillion in short-term debt. I'm sure, like Ms. Baum, you're thinking, hey, that's a huge number. Well, it is a huge number, but compared to what? At least that's the way I think. You see, not only do I like to get some perspective when I hear things like that, but I also know that the media likes to portray things in a sensational way. I also know that Ms. Baum loves to make it seem like the United States is going broke. That's her shtick, so to speak. And we all know the U.S. can't go broke because it issues its own currency. And if it needs dollars to satisfy a debt or spend on fixing infrastructure or pay for national defense or any entitlement like Social Security, it's just a matter of changing numbers in a bank account. That's it. The numbers just get marked up. That's how the government spends, and that's why the U.S. cannot go broke. But Carolyn Baum routinely spews her nonsense. It's her opinion, but always stated as if it's fact. The U.S. cannot go broke. By the way, Baum is not alone with this point of view. You can add economists Carmen Reinhart, Ken Rogoff, David Walker, Pete Peterson, Simpson Bowles, and a long list of others. But I digress. Let's get back to this $6 trillion that the U.S. will have to roll over 5 years from now. First, let's understand that the U.S. rolls over its short-term debt all the time without a problem. Literally trillions get rolled over on a regular basis. For example, in the last 7 months, the Treasury successfully rolled over $42 trillion. $42 trillion! And the world didn't fall apart, and the dollar didn't collapse. Actually, it went up. And we didn't have hyperinflation, and interest rates didn't spike, and the stock market went up, and everything was just fine. How do I know that the U.S. rolled over $40 trillion? Simple. It comes right from the Treasury Department's website, which is available to the public. I guess Ms. Baum, in her journalistic wisdom, didn't feel like she needed to look that up. She probably just thought that since she knows so much more than you, that you just better take what she says in her column at face value. But it doesn't even end with the $42 trillion. In the past 10 years, the U.S. has rolled over $475 trillion in debt. That's what, like half a quadrillion? And again, no collapse. Interest rates have fallen to record lows. The world is buying up our bonds like there's no tomorrow. You see what I'm getting at? There is a concerted effort by people like Ms. Baum to hide, cover up, or otherwise subvert the truth. They don't want you to know, because if you know, it would keep them from pushing forward with their agenda, which is stripping you of your Social Security, education, health care, modern infrastructure, scientific advancements, and everything else that comes with a modern, prosperous, egalitarian society. They want what we've got now, but they just want it for themselves, not for you. You don't get any. You get less and less and less under the guise of lack, as in we lack money. We better make cuts and stop spending because we can't. Well, that's about as stupid as saying we can't play a basketball game because some team might score 150 points and we don't have the points to put up on the scoreboard. Yes, because that's exactly how we come up with the money. It's literally put on a scoreboard, which is the government's own account at the Fed. I asked Ms. Baum to explain how we paid off $41 trillion in the past 7 months and why, if we did that, a $6 trillion rollover 5 years from now would be so catastrophic. I gave her the Treasury's website. Not that that's hard to find. And not surprisingly, she never answered me. And by the way, I'm not going to hold my breath. Moreover, don't expect Simpson Bowles, Carmen Reinhart, Ken Rogoff, and all the other debt doomsayers, including President Obama, to tell you the truth. They won't, because it would upset their plan, which is to keep you down, strip you of whatever little wealth, income, and comfort you might have, and turn you into a slave for the elites. That's why it's so important to get this message out. Please, please tell your friends, your colleagues, your relatives, everyone you can possibly think of. Tell them what the truth is. It's impossible for the 1% to defeat the 99%. We have the numbers and we have the truth on our side. They can only defeat us if we let them. And unfortunately, we have let them get way too far without even the slightest fight at all. It's time to make it stop. Send this video around. I will be making more in the coming weeks. In the meantime, remember the quote from Winston Churchill: "We must never, ever, ever give up." This is Mike Norman. See you.